What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 184, and this is going to be the week number 4 review. With me, as always, from Denver, Colorado, Jason Ashby. Jason, how you doing this evening, my friend?
Fantastic. Man, we just watched a historic Mets win today. So that feels nice. Yep, we're representing. We're both coming off of big wins in week 4, facing each other in week 5. So lots going on, lots to talk about. And ultimately it's the big, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's always real fun here. Now, let's talk about what is going on in week number 4 against the. Well, let's start off with the matchup that was Henry Collins against Adam Lowenstein. On Sunday, it looks like Adam tied walks by a pitcher, Henry giving up too many walks on that side. Untied saves for the only save of the matchup. Henry untied home runs and stolen bases, flipped innings, pitched, and whip. This entire thing got flipped upside down. I think it was 9-8 going in Adams' favor. Ends up 11-8 in Henry's favor after all of that.
What a crazy Sunday.
Absolutely insane. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw a lot of crazy Sundays yesterday.
Yeah. And look, there's still a lot of Sundays to go. It's going to get even crazier.
No doubt. No doubt. Close categories this week. Henry wins by the double, 2 home runs, a steal, and 3 ticks on the whip. Adam wins by 2 runs, 2 wins, and a save. And they tied in triples and walks by a pitcher. For Henry on his bench, he goes 13 for 39. That's a perfect 333 with 5 runs that would have won the category, 3 doubles, a home run, 4 RBIs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. He used the 5 runs. I mean, there was a bunch on the bench, but there were 3 on Sunday that he could have had.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough when it's really the only offensive category that you didn't get. But they all get 3 runs on Sunday, but they're all from 3 different people.
Yeah.
That's
He would have
tough.
had to. He would have had to get all of these dudes into the lineup. McCutchen, Alex Call, and Carlos Correa. He would have had to flop them out, and Geraldo Perdomo put up 2 runs that day. So it's hard to get all of these guys in.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not starting Alex Call over Stephen Kwan, like you're not. So
No, not a
yeah,
chance.
yeah.
Not a chance. For his moves this week, he used all 10. He added Trent Grisham, who went on paternity leave. Osvaldo Bido, who was terrible, 8 earned runs and 5 1/3 against Texas. Jacob Webb, who was terrible in his relief appearance. Whatever a Justin Sterner is, Manuel Rodriguez, Ben Lively for a not so good start against Boston, 5 innings, 2 bombs, 3 walks, a 720 and a 180. He added Wandy Peralta, Andrew McCutchen 0 for 5 on Saturday, and 4 for 4 on the bench on Sunday. Not that it really mattered, but
Yeah.
Jose Soriano. Yeah, it stings. It stings. Jose Soriano gets added 5 innings, a loss, 540, a 120 against Minnesota, and finishes it out with Logan Evans, 5 innings, a win, and 3 strikeouts with a 360 and a 1 against Miami on Sunday. His MVP this week goes to Stephen Kwan. Wherever he is. There he is, 417 with a 440, 4 runs, 3 doubles, an RBI, 2 steals, a walk, and a strikeout. Only 1 strikeout in this week when he's batting 417. That's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, and a 440 on base with only 1 walk. That means he was hitting a lot.
Mm-hmm. Vlad Guerrero is the least valuable hitter, 143 with a 217. 2 runs, a bomb, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Shout out to Geraldo Perdomo, who hit 136 but stole 3 bases, walked 5 times, and hit a bomb. Matt Chapman hit 130 but stole a base, walked 5 times, and hit a bomb. So
everybody did something, but Vlad, I think that's such a disappointment. And the fact that he's only got 2 home runs this season is like just unsightly.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
Yeah, I heard something like the whole team has less home runs than like somebody or some stat like that where like it's just crazy how few home runs the Blue Jays have hit so far this year.
Yeah, they've been bad, and I mean, at least they got the extension done with Vlad before the season started, or while the season was still young.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
man, this is a bad start for them.
It's not looking good.
Not looking good. The Cy Young this week goes to Michael Wacha, who went 6 innings for a win, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, nothing earned, and a 1 whip. That start was against Houston at home, which is pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
The Cy Young goes to Chris Bassett or just about anyone else because he threw to a 5.62 ERA this week.
Yeah. And shocker, surprise, surprise, Tyler Glass now is going to the IL.
Yeah, he just got announced here within the last hour or so. He's going on with right shoulder inflammation.
Yep. Didn't see that coming.
I mean, it's a pretty big hit to that rotation too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and they were even talking about it last night on MLB Network. Like, with all of the talent and all of the stockpiling that the Dodgers have done, their depth is being tested on the mound and offensively. Like, their bench players are awful. It's not as rosy as it was looking like it was going to be. During spring training.
It's still only April. I mean, it's still only April. Max
Championships
Muncy's
are
hitting
won in April.
160. Yeah, Max Muncy's hitting 160. Michael Conforto's hitting 179. These guys are going to figure it out. They're professional hitters. Like,
yeah.
we're gonna that machine is going to work. And all summer we're going to be like, remember when they had a bad April and won like 16 games?
That was just a tease.
Yeah,
yeah.
As for Adam on his bench this week, he goes 4 for 22. That's a 182 batting average with 4 runs, a bomb, an RBI, a stolen base that would have tied the category, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts, and an error. For his moves this week, he used 9 of them. Jose Quintana for a good start in San Francisco, 6 innings, a win, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Mason Fluharty. Fluharty.
Yeah,
Sounds
that
like
guy.
Sounds like a pirate.
He's a Blue Jay, in fact.
He's a Blue Jay. Well, he had a bad relief appearance, but got a win. So there you go. Congratulations on that. He had a Joey Cantillo, Jake Fraley, Drake Baldwin, which was a waste for Joey Bart. 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. So congratulations on that one. And then finished out the week with Lake Backer, Calvin Fauché, and Caleb Durbin. So he's adding the Marlins bullpen.
And they didn't come in because they got beat up by the Mariners.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. It was like 10-1 or something like that.
Yeah, they got the crap beat out of them.
Yeah. The MVP this week, I think this is the first time we're saying this dude's name in this particular part of the show. The MVP goes to Elly De La Cruz, 375 with a 429 on base, 5 runs, 2 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an error.
Yeah. No home runs, which is surprising. But
no extra base hits at all.
Right, yeah. No extra base hits, all singles, but that led to 4 stolen bases. So yeah. I guess you take that.
His teammate Matt McClain is the least valuable hitter, 0.48 with a 130 with a run, a stolen base, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts. He was the Elly De La Cruz bad side this week.
Yeah, he was the dark side of Elly.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Mitchell Parker, and good job not starting him on Sunday because that would have been disastrous. 8 innings, a win, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, nothing earned, and an 0.38. That is an impressive start he had at home against Baltimore.
Yeah, and then Sunday against us, he was not good. So good job not starting him there.
Yeah, 5 innings, 5 walks, a 1080 and a 240. Did not start him against our Metsies. And damn right, you shouldn't start anybody against our Metsies. We're the first ones to 20 wins.
Hell yeah.
The Cy Young this week goes to Yusei Kikuchi. 2 innings, a loss, 4 walks, an 18 ERA, and a 6.50 whip. Yikes!
Yeah, that's what you expect from Kikuchi against the Twins.
Yeah, the lowly Twins that can't keep anybody healthy.
Yeah,
poor guys. Well, congratulations to to Henry on a good win here this week. He was in first place going in, and other than a bigger win from somebody behind him, he would probably still be sitting in first place. He's a game out in second place. Adam is needing some help.
Yeah. We're starting to see. We talked about this off air that there was definitely some shakeups in the standings, and there's going to be for the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there might starting to be some of the separation already. I mean, Adam is now almost 20 games out. I mean, it's still early. Anything can still happen, but
Mm-hmm.
it's going to need some work.
Yeah, he's 21 under 500. That is exactly one shutout win.
Yeah.
21-0 would get him back to 500. Like
So he
it
can do that.
or he could win by 10 and win by 11 and then be right back to 500. Like this can be done. It's just going to take some work.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next matchup, my friend, and we're going to talk about the one between Josh Haber and Bobby Russo. I know both of these guys, big fans of the podcast, listen every single week, so shout out to these guys.
Hi guys.
This one, Bobby gets a 13-8 win. Surprise, in my opinion. What do you think here?
With only two doubles.
With only two doubles, yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. On Sunday, Josh flipped batting average. That's the only thing that changed. So it was, in fact, 14-7 going in, 13-8 coming out in Bobby's favor. Close categories this week. Bobby wins by 2 triples, 2 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Josh wins by the error and the win. They did not tie in anything. For Bobby on his bench, he went 9 for 24. That's a 375 batting average with 4 runs, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts, and not a single bit of that plays.
I wonder if the batting average would have played. Because I mean, it ended up being very close, but Josh flipped it on Sunday. I wonder if that would have changed things at all. If he got some of those hits in. But he would
have had to get the majority of those 9 in. It would have been difficult, but I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
You mentioned he only had 2 doubles on the week. Bobby didn't have a single double going into Sunday. And of course, that would have been a record.
How was that possible?
I don't know. What did he have? Like 13 homers this week? Yeah. He had 13 homers.
2 triples.
And 2 doubles. That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He used 8 ads this week. He added Brian Hayes, Lucas Sims, Brandon Young for a bad start, 4 2/3, a loss, and 5 walks. Carlos Carrasco, 5 shutout innings and a no decision against Toronto. Greg Weissert for a clean relief appearance. Added Jeff McNeil, Mitch Spence, and Bryce Wilson. His MVP this week is AL Player of the Week, Jorge Polanco.
Yeah. I thought this guy was dead at one point.
I know. He hit 500 this week with a 571 on base, 4 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, a walk, and a strikeout.
Yeah, those 2 doubles that Bobby got this week? There they are.
There they are from the one guy.
Yep.
His least valuable hitter goes to Nathaniel Lowe, 087 with a 125 on base. A run, a bomb, 2 RBIs, a walk, 9 strikeouts, and 2 errors. The guy was a disaster this week.
Yeah, and I liked him coming into the season. Right now, he's not looking great, but it's only April.
Mm-hmm. Reese Olson is the Cy Young this week. He went 7 1/3, a win, a walk, 7 strikeouts, nothing earned, and an 0.41. That start was against San Diego, surprisingly enough.
Mm-hmm.
The Cy Young this week goes to Randy Vasquez, who's no longer on the team. 2 innings, a loss, 3 walks, a strikeout, 27 on the ERA, and a 4 whip. Bobby ended up pitching to a 3.60 ERA, so it didn't hurt him too badly.
Yeah, and it's funny how it wasn't the same game, but same teams. The Padres and the Tigers. He got the Reese Olson right, not the Randy Vasquez.
Right. Disappointing for him on that end, but You still won the week. You overcame that bad start and
Yeah.
got most of the pitching categories. For Josh on his bench, he goes 7 for 23. That's a 304 batting average with 2 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 4 RBIs that would have won the category, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. He had a home run and an RBI for Morel on the bench on Wednesday. The RBIs were very spread out, so he would have probably had to pick and choose a little bit better during the week, but I'm not going to fault him too much here.
Yeah. No. It was one of those weeks, you know.
Mm-hmm. For his moves this week, he made all 10 of them. Kyle Manzardo, Lou Trevino, who was awful, Miguel Maya, who hit a 2-run homer, Christopher Morel off of waivers, who was benched in a really great day, but had a good Thursday as well when he was in the lineup.
Yeah, and I dropped Morel at the start of the week, and Josh was surprised, and I was like, I just can't take the strikeouts. Like too inconsistent, and too many strikeouts. So I love the position eligibility. I wish I could have kept him, but now he's gonna have a home on Josh's team.
Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it. He added Noelvi Marte, who did nothing the day he picked him up, but has been great since. And
Yeah, he
he's
had fun
tearing
here
it
in
up.
Colorado.
And finally, Josh Winkowski, who gave him three innings in relief. He added J.J. Bleday, Julian Merriweather, Osvaldo Beto, who was good against the White Sox, and finished it out with Andy Pages, who goes 4 for 5, a home run, and 4 RBIs.
Yeah, this guy was. I think he was the NL Player of the Week, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And he was sitting on the waiver wire until Sunday.
yeah, he was on my team for a minute, and he wasn't hitting, so I had to move on from him. And I've been
Yeah,
still searching for this backup right fielder.
I
So
feel you. But and the well, we'll talk about it. Yeah, okay.
yeah, all right. His MVP this week goes to Noelvi Marte, who was, like we said, fantastic when he was in the lineup for him. Where the hell is he? There he is. 389 with a 421 on base percentage, 2 runs, a double, a homer, 7 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, a walk, 3 strikeouts, and an error. The least valuable hitter is Christian Walker, 200 with a 200, a run, a double, a homer, an RBI, 7 strikeouts. And on the season, Christian Walker, 189 with 3 bombs.
Yeah. Remember when everybody was like, "How do you rank?" I think somebody asked me how I rank Pete Alonso over Christian Walker. Yeah.
Pete
Mm.
Alonso is better than Christian Walker.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
So much better. So much better. All right. The Cy Young this week goes to Pete Fairbanks. 3 2/3, a win and 3 saves, a walk, 2 strikeouts, nothing earned, an 055, and 4 relief appearances every time he got into the game. It mattered.
It mattered. You got to win in 3 saves and 4 appearances.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Trent Thornton, Lou Trevino, and Julian Merriweather. All of them were bad in their relief appearances. Lou Trevino, 2/3 of an inning, and 67 ERA. Gross.
Yeah, and Merriweather got the loss on Sunday. That was a tough one. That was such a good game.
Yeah, it was a very good game. Very, very good game. Unfortunately for Bobby, Jordan Westberg just hit the IL.
Yeah. I'm hoping that's not going to be too long of a stint, but that's tough for him and the Orioles.
Yeah, it's going to be a left hamstring strain. It looks like he had an MRI, and no word yet on how long he's going to miss. But that was a pretty big piece that Bobby had last year. He drafted him pretty high this year, and he's going to be without him for a while. And now that's him, Jackson Merrill, and Josh Lowe on the offensive side holding it down on the IL, along with Zach Eflin.
Yeah.
It's just so many. Like, there's only so many people you can hang on to.
You got to hang on to Jackson Merrill. I think you got to hold on to Jordan Westberg. And then you see, see how long they're going to be out for. I mean, again, look, it is only April, so get these injuries out of the way now, and hopefully they're back in, end of May or something like that. But yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and he had to get rid of AJ Minter because AJ Minter landed on the IL with a lat strain. So who knows
Yeah,
how long
and
that's going to be? But
no word yet on that, and that could be a while.
yeah, that could definitely be a while. As for Josh, no worries here. I mean, he's still waiting on Tyler Stevenson, but he's got Miguel Amaya to hold it down right now.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it when we get to me, but he dropped Francisco Alvarez uh, after our trade, and I don't know exactly why, but he said he had to, and so he did, and now he's back on my team.
Okay, maybe he needed the roster spot for a pitcher or something. I don't know, but
I guess, but I mean Miguel Amaya and Carson Kelly have been a really good platoon for the Cubs. Like they've both been hitting, so
yeah,
not a bad thing to have. Unfortunately, he only has half of it, so but it works.
yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on to the next matchup. And this guy is the winner of this matchup, took over the number one spot. It has been 4 weeks this year, and we have had four different leaders in the clubhouse each of the first 4 weeks, which is incredible. And you love to see it. Costas Paragas
Love it.
taking a 15-6 win over Brian Lebo. On Sunday, Lebo untied runs, but took a loss to lose that, and Costas flipped on base percentage. Close categories this week. Costas wins by the triple, the stolen base, the strikeout, 6 ticks on the on base percentage, a win, a loss, and 2 saves. That is 7 close categories for Costas this week. When you're going to win that many coin flips, you're going to have a good week.
Yeah, and you're gonna be the number one team in the clubhouse.
No doubt. Lebo wins by a run and 2 doubles. They did not tie in anything. For Costas on his bench this week, he goes 4 for 20. It's a 200 batting average with 3 runs that would have won him the category, 2 stolen bases, a walk, and 4 strikeouts that would have lost him the category if he had them all in. As for the runs, they again were spread out over the couple of days that he had them. But on Tuesday, he had 2 on the bench. I don't know if it came from the same guy.
It did, yeah, Rafaela. But again, like okay, so Trey, you're gonna start him over Trey Turner, you know?
No, you're not doing that.
Right. So, like that's really it. That was the play, but you're not going to do that.
Okay, so there you go. Plus, he won 15-6, like
Right. I don't think he's crying. I don't think he's crying about 2 runs.
a couple of runs. Yeah.
Yeah.
He added his ads this week. He used 7. Joe Boyle, Drew Waters, who went 2 for 7 with 2 RBIs. Chandler Simpson, who was 1 for 4 with a run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Tyler Ferguson, Garrett Clevenger, who got him a save. Brant Herter, who had 2 1/3 and a win in relief appearance. And Ben Kasparius, 3 2/3, a win and 5 strikeouts in a relief appearance.
Yeah. Back-to-back days, he picks up relievers who got him a win.
And multiple innings.
Multiple innings. Yeah.
Yeah. His MVP this week is, man, it's Teoscar Hernandez. This guy is out of control. 381 with a 381, 6 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, and only 1 strikeout. Shout out to Lars Nootbaar, who had 6 walks and a homer and 6 RBIs. He did well this week, but I mean, Teoscar Hernandez, pairing him with Shohei Ohtani could catapult him to the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, neither of them have really like gotten off yet. Like Ohtani's only hitting 286, like and Teoscar is hitting 277. Like these guys are just starting to warm up. Like, look out.
Yeah, this is like I said, this machine is going to churn, and Costas getting Ohtani and Teoscar is really, really strong. Really strong.
Yeah.
The least valuable hitter goes to Trey Turner, question mark. 231 with a 286.
Everybody kind of did something here. So
yeah, he hit 231, 286 on base, a run, 4 RBIs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and an error. Ohtani had 8 strikeouts, but had a 375 on base. Everybody did something. Yeah, everybody did something.
Yeah.
Carson Kelly didn't hit, but how many at bats did he have?
Right, probably like none. Again, he's in that timeshare with Amaya, so he's not playing every day. He maybe plays 2 or 3 games a week.
Right, right. His Cy Young this week goes to Brandon Fott, 12 innings, 2 wins, a walk, 11 strikeouts, a 2.25, and a 1.17. The Cy Yuck goes to nobody. Another microscopic ERA this week. He threw to an 0.90 last week, a 1.85 this week. Costas,
With an
you're killing it,
084 whip.
man.
Like, what is this?
This is insane. He's broken the game, is what's
Yeah.
happened.
And he just lost Logan Gilbert.
Exactly. Like, let's see how he can survive that. But this is incredible.
I mean, when Andrew Heaney is throwing 6 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts, like, you're just getting it right.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. No doubt. For Lebo on his bench this week, he goes 10 for 27. That's a 370 batting average, and I'm wondering if that could have flipped on base percentage.
Oh, yeah. I bet you it would have.
Yeah, because they lost it by 10 ticks, but you get a few more at bats in there with some hits, and maybe that changes it.
Yeah.
4 runs, a double, a homer, 6 RBIs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an error. Otherwise, nothing else plays. So if he can get more hits into the lineup, which ups his on base percentage, that's it. There was a Jacob Wilson 3 for 4 on the bench with a homer and 2 RBIs on what looks like Friday.
Friday, yeah, and we'll talk more about him, but he had trouble figuring out when to get him in the lineup.
Yeah, yeah. He used 9 moves this week. He added Edgar Caro from the White Sox, the catcher there.
Yep.
But then subsequently, I think he's dropped. Yeah, he subsequently dropped him and got in on the Augustine Ramirez sweepstakes.
Yeah, that kid. I'm so mad I missed out on him. He's gonna be something special, I think.
I think so too. That's the Jazz Chisholm piece back to the Marlins from the
Yeah.
Yankees. Yeah.
Yep.
He added Josh Bell, Heston Kjerstad, Colin Ray with 5 shutout innings in a start against Philly. Keegan Aiken for a good relief appearance. Zach DeCenzo, Johan Rojas, Ethan Roberts for a bad pair of innings, and Liam Hendricks for a clean relief appearance. His MVP this week is Eugenio Suarez, who was also the NL Player of the Week and had a historic day on, what was it, Sunday or Saturday?
It was Saturday. I was watching that game, and he I caught like the end of it, and he like had just hit his 3rd home run. I was watching, and he came up, and they were like, "Oh, what if he hits a 4th?" And he hits his 4th. Like, it was really kind of incredible.
It was absolutely first time since JD Martinez in 2017, I think it
Yep.
was,
Yep.
to hit 4 home runs in a game. Gino Suarez is his MVP, 400 with a 500, 9 runs, a double, 4 homers, 5 RBIs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 3 errors. Kind of ugly. Sounds like they might be calling up Jordan Lawler to play third base and have Gino DH. Of course, that puts Pavin Smith and Josh Naylor into a pickle at first base DH. So,
Yeah.
what are the Diamondbacks doing here? I don't know.
I don't know, because both Naylor and Pavem hit lefty, so it's not like you're platooning them or anything like that. It's definitely a bit of a logjam there.
Definitely. His least valuable hitter is the aforementioned Jacob Wilson. He was bad when he got put into the lineup. 063 with a 118 on base, 2 runs, an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. But the kid has been good since coming up.
Yeah, in 324. He like what had like a 14-game hitting streak to start the year or something like that.
Mm-hmm. No, he's been fantastic. He's been arguably the A's best player.
Yeah.
They're putting together something special out there in Sacramento. We'll see if all these kids really can put it together over a full season. I mean, this is a nice little piece, though. It's a nice little
Let's
piece.
see how many of them can make it to Vegas.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Hunter Brown, 13 innings, 2 wins, 2 walks, 18 strikeouts, an 069 and an 085. That is nasty.
Yeah. That was against KC in Toronto, and he just ate them up.
Yeah, 9 strikeouts a piece. It was great pickup there for the for Lebo. And you know what? The guy's having a great season. 4 wins, a 122 ERA, 084 WHIP.
Yeah,
He's nasty.
He's been their ace. I mean, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Cy Yuck goes to Jose Ferrer, who's off the team. An inning and 2/3, a 21-60 and a 3 over 3 relief appearances. With a shout out to Grant. Is that Grant Holmes?
Yeah, yeah, he wasn't good. He gave up three of Suarez's home runs, I think it was.
5 innings, 5 and 2/3, 3 bombs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 953 and a 141. Yeah, no, that's ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, Eric Fetty wasn't good. Phil Maton wasn't good. Yeah, rough week.
Yep. I talked to Lebo this week. I congratulated him on the Augustine Ramirez pickup. 3 homers, 5 RBIs, and a 474 batting average this week. This kid's out of control.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like we talked about like okay, you have all these catchers because you also have Salvador Perez, and he had got Moreno, and he had he picked up Cuero, but like all right, so now he's got Augustin Ramirez and Salvador Perez. Both of them are catcher and first base eligible.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and he's not log jammed at utility either. I mean, he's got Alec Burleson to play first base as well with the corner outfielders. So
Yeah.
I think this team is pretty good. I don't think that this result indicates that Lebo's out of it. I mean, he's what, 7 under 500? That's a hell of a lot less to dig out of.
Yeah, and we know he's capable of doing it. The pitching is good. Hunter Brown and Tanner Scott. Maybe there's some more pieces to build up there, but it's sometimes like we said, it's the manager, and the manager can do it.
Yeah, and as for Costas, he's clicking on all cylinders right now.
He really is. He is finding the lucky penny and picking it up every time.
Mm-hmm. He's got himself a nice foundation in Ohtani and Teoscar. Logan Gilbert was going to be a really nice rotational anchor, but we'll see how long he's going to be out.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Yeah. That's tough again for them and the Mariners. For him and the Mariners, that's tough.
Especially since he moved Michael King. Like if he had Michael King too, be a different story. But
or at least he got out of Devin Williams.
Yeah, he did get out from under that, and he has Luke Weaver already.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the next matchup. It is our commissioner Ben Nisman taking on Mike Haber. This was one of the epic battles that we see every single year, and this one was no different. We get a 12-9 finish, but this thing was tied on Saturday going in. Mike untied runs and RBIs and relief appearances all in his favor to take it 12-9. You son of a bitch. You took all 3 of them.
Yeah, all tied on Saturday and all untied on Sunday.
Yep. So close categories this week. Mike wins by 3 RBIs and 3 relief appearances. Ben wins by a triple, a home run, and 2 errors. And of course, they did not tie in anything. For Mike on his bench this week, he goes 8 for 26. It's a 308 batting average with 6 runs, a double, a homer, 5 RBIs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, and an error. And none of it plays.
Yeah.
Of course it didn't. This matchup would not. I would have been shocked if this matchup had like multiple things on their benches that would have played.
The homer would have played.
Oh yeah,
right, because he lost by 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that would have played. That was
Pete Crow Armstrong on
Tuesday.
That's
that center field challenge, right? With PCA or Mullins.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
His moves this week, he used 6 of them. He added Tony Gonsolin, Matthew Boyd, Brian Bayo, who was benched for Sunday's start and then dropped. So kind of a waste.
Yeah. In fact, just about all those were, because he added Tony Gonsolin to the IL, but then dropped him on Sunday. He added Matthew Boyd, who didn't pitch, and then Bayo, who he dropped before he pitched. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you keep going. Hayden Birdsong was the only thing. Hayden Birdsong was the only thing that did anything.
Yeah, 3 innings of shutout relief and 5 strikeouts. He added Jake Mangum who's on the IL, and Chandler Simpson after the bell. So none of these moves really impacted the matchup all that much.
No, it was the only one that did anything was Birdsong.
Yeah. His MVP this week is Pete Crow Armstrong, Mr. 2025 Akil Badu.
Yep.
PCA on the week, 357 with a 357 on base, 2 runs, a double, a homer, 6 RBIs, 4 steals, and 2 strikeouts. How many steals does this kid have on the season?
He has 12.
That's insane.
In
12 in a month?
29 games, he has 12 stolen bases.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, like he could be our next 70, 80 stolen bases.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. And we gave him up for Edwin Diaz.
Yeah. Was he in the Javi Baez? Was he?
That was the Javi. That was the Javi deal.
That was the Javi Baez. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Gross. We don't like that at all.
Yeah.
The least valuable hitter this week goes to Manny Machado. 143 with a 174 on base, a run, a double, an RBI, a walk, 3 strikeouts, and 2 errors.
Yeah. Kerry Carpenter didn't get a hit, but he only played in 3 games. So but I think Machado, you want more out of him than what you got.
Yeah. I would expect better out of that guy, especially given his high draft capital that he had to spend on.
Yeah.
12 innings for Robbie Ray in the Cy Young this week with a home run, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts, 3 ERA, and a 1.17 WHIP. The Cy Young goes to Landon Raup, who's no longer on the team. 3 2/3, a 7.36, and a 2.45 on the WHIP. For Benjamin on his bench this week, he goes 3 for 15. That's a 200 batting average with a run, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts, and none of that plays.
Yep.
The moves this week, he had 10 of them. Alejandro Kirk, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Brett Beatty with a huge 2-run homer, and then a shipment down to Syracuse.
Yep, he got squeezed out.
Yeah. Daysbel Hernandez, who got 2 relief wins. Sean Newcomb, who was bad against Seattle. Cade Povich, who was good in Washington. Chris Paddock, who was serviceable but took the loss against the White Sox. Mickey Moniak, who gave him an 0 for 4. Scott Barlow for a clean relief appearance. Randy Vasquez, who was bad against Tampa. And Hobie Milner at the very last moment, right before 3 a.m.
Yeah, literally 2:59.
Right there. Thanks, Ben. We appreciate that for the last minute. His key players this week, his MVP goes to Max Kepler. Pick up off the waiver wire.
He since dropped him.
He has 412 with a 524 on base, 4 runs, a double, 2 homers. I'm sorry, a homer, 2 RBIs, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. His least valuable hitter goes to Brandon Nimmo, who has been an absolute disaster this week.
Until today.
More on him in a second. 083 with a 143 on base with an RBI, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. But today he goes 4 for 6, a grand slam, and another home run. 9 RBIs
in 3 innings. It was just crazy. Oh, it was so good to watch. And I watched his post-game interview too, and he just looked so so free, and so relaxed finally. So hopefully, this will let the floodgates out and he can start actually being a hitter again.
Yeah, it'd be great. I asked Ben if he's out of the doghouse because Ben has been benching him for about a week leading into this, and he would probably not have played him today if not for the short day where he positionally had to fill a roster. And he said, no, this is absolutely a breakout. So he gets back into the lineup now. So congratulations, Brandon Nimmo. We're back in Ben's lineup.
Yeah. Yes, we're back in the good graces.
Yes. His Cy Young this week goes to Emilio Pagan. 4 relief appearances, 4 innings, 3 saves, 5 strikeouts, a 2.25, and an 0.50. Another guy grabbed off of the waiver wire. Congratulations on grabbing him. Nate Eovaldi also had a very good week. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, and a win. Nothing earned in an 0.67. The Cy Yuck goes to Raisel Iglesias or Alexis Diaz, one of those two. They were both bad over their 2 relief appearances. At least Iglesias got a win.
Yeah, but it was ugly. I watched that. That was the I think that was the same game. That was the 4-homer game. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was on Saturday. So like that's a game where the Braves give up 4 home runs to a guy and they still win the game.
Yeah. Insane. Insane. Neither one of these guys I'm worried about making the playoffs. In fact, I'm worried about competing with them to get into the playoffs.
Oh
So
yeah,
we shall see what happens this year with each of them.
yeah. They're perennial favorites, and now Ben's gonna get Luis Ariz back. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's not fun to face them ever.
Yeah, he did pick up Javi Baez today because he's kind of got this shortstop issue because Tovar's still hurt. So the middle infield is a little bit banged up for him right now with Arise and Tovar down.
Yeah, but Rice comes back tomorrow.
Yep.
And Tovar looks like he's progressing too. So shouldn't be too long that he has to hang on to Mr. Thumbs Down.
Yeah, get him off your team as fast as possible. He's terrible. He's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's talk about my matchup with Mike Sherman this week. I got a great get me right win, 16-5.
Yeah, you needed that.
Definitely. On Sunday, I flipped strikeouts by a batter, on base percentage, and untied relief appearances and losses. Sherman gave me strikeouts by a hitter and losses on Sunday. So it started out 11-8 going in. It's 15-6 coming out. Go figure.
Yeah.
Close categories this week. I win by the double: 2 homers, 4 ticks on the on base percentage, an inning and 2/3, 2 wins, a loss, a walk by a pitcher, a strikeout by a pitcher, and 2 relief appearances. That is 9 close categories. Thank you very much.
I mean, you can even throw in 3 homers by a pitcher. Like it was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Sherman does win by 4 runs and 3 saves. We didn't tie in anything. On my bench this week, I went 4 for 26 with a 154 batting average, a run, an RBI, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, and an error. None of it plays. None of it
Well
plays.
done. Well done.
Yep. I used all 10 moves this week, added Anthony Veneziano, Brian Hudson, Nick Martinez for a good performance in Miami. Tomoyuki Sugano, 7 innings on a no decision in Washington. Cole Sands, Tyler O'Neill, who was terrible and hit the IL. Ryan Zefferjohn, JP Fireeisen. I felt like taking the most complicated last names this week.
Yeah, you definitely did that.
Yeah.
Good job.
Trevor Larnack, who sounds like he's some sort of Klingon.
Yeah, thank you. I have been saying ever since he came up that he sounds like a character from Star Trek. Thank you.
Yeah, Larnack the Klingon.
Yes. Yes.
And Orion Kerkering for a clean relief appearance.
He could be a Ferengi.
Kerkering's going to stick around for a minute.
Yeah. I like him. I like him.
There was also the trade that wasn't first time we've ever had a trade actually reversed after 2 days of being on the other team. In case you're wondering, the only thing that would have been different, I actually would have lost strikeouts by a pitcher, so it would have been 1 different. We're looking at 15-5. My understanding is there were a couple of people who were a little upset with the deal, so you know what? That's fine. We move on. No big deal.
It's good. It's good. I'm all right.
I'm fine with it too.
Yeah.
Marcell Ozuna is my MVP this week. It's a 350 with a 536 on base, a run, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs, 8 walks, 4 strikeouts. If I am correct, I believe he leads the league in walks.
Probably because he's the only one that's really even doing anything in that lineup.
Yeah. For now. But yeah, 26 walks to 22 strikeouts so far this year. He's nasty.
Nasty. He is tied with Matt Chapman for the lead right now.
Gotcha. Sean Murphy also had 3 homers and 5 RBIs to help me win those 2 categories. Appreciate you, Mr. Murphy. For the least valuable hitter, Mookie Betts has been a little bit of a disappointment. 190 with a 250 on base, 3 runs, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and only 1 strikeout of the entire week. Little bit of a disappointment so far.
Yeah, but you know what? He's part of that machine, right? That
Mhm.
in a month or two, we're gonna be like, yeah, remember that slump?
Yeah. Remember that 230 April he had?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, like he's already starting to turn it back on a little bit, just over
Mhm.
the last couple of days. So he'll be just fine.
He'll be just fine. No problems. My Cy Young this week goes to Brandon Webb. Brandon Webb? That's not who
Sure.
that
Yeah.
is.
Let's try
Yeah.
him.
Let's try him. How about Logan Webb? 6 1/3, a win, 6 strikeouts, nothing earned, in a 142 whip. That start came in at uh, at home against Milwaukee.
Yep.
The Cy Young this week goes to Max Meyer, who, if I was greedy, I would have played on Monday and would have had 14 more strikeouts, but I wasn't greedy. And the Cincinnati Reds were coming off of scoring 24 runs the day before. So far be it from me to think that the fucking Max Meyer is going to go out there and pump 14 strikeouts on this fucking team.
Baseball.
Sorry. It's
It's
baseball season.
baseball.
It's baseball. Uh, for the start that he actually did do in my lineup, 4 innings, a loss, a home run, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 11.25, and a 2.25. But this kid's been really good.
He has. Yeah. I mean, he ran into a buzzsaw in Seattle, but he's been really good. I mean,
Mhm.
14 strikeouts is nothing to sneeze at. So,
Not at all.
yeah.
Not at all. As for Mike Sherman on his bench, he goes 6 for 19. That is a 316 batting average, and he probably could have flipped on base percentage if he gets a hit or two in there.
Pretty close.
Yep. 2 runs, 3 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. He only used 2 ads: Brendan Little, who was terrible, and Jordan Hicks, who was serviceable, but didn't quite go long enough to get him innings in at home against Texas.
Yeah.
His MVP this week is Francisco Lindor. Jesus Christ, this guy wore me out this week. 458 with a 519 on base percentage, 5 runs, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, with a shout out to Jaron Duran, who had 2 triples and 3 steals and hit 406.
One of those steals was a straight steal at home.
Oh, terrific. So
Yeah.
that counts as a steal and a run out of the
Yeah.
6 he had. That combination, Lindor and Duran, should be able to compete this year.
It really should. And if Bretton Doyle like can get his head on straight, like him, I like this lineup. I really do.
I do too. I do too. Boba Shed in there, Cody Bellinger, like there's pieces here.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler Soderstrom was leading the league in home runs for a minute. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The least valuable hitter this week is Andres Jimenez, 053 with a 182, a run, a steal, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to Seth Lugo. Thanks for trading him to him, Ben. Appreciate that. 8 innings, a win, a walk, 8 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 050. He absolutely shoved against Houston.
Yeah. So that's that's really impressive.
Yeah. An 8 inning win with, just nasty. Nasty.
Yeah.
Kumar Rocker is the Cy Yuck, and he's now gone on the IL. An inning and 2/3, a loss, a homer, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a 27 and a 480. What's he on the IL with? Is it a hamstring?
Shoulder.
Shoulder. That's not good.
Yeah, and his start before that was really good. His only good start of the year so far. He's been awful. So it's interesting that he had a really good start against the Angels, 7 innings, like a couple of runs, but then he comes out against the A's and can't make it out of the second.
Mm-hmm. It's disappointing because this kid had a bright future when he got drafted, but he's bounced around from us to the Texas Rangers, and he's come up through their system, but unfortunately he's hurt. We'll see if he's able to continue this year, or if this shoulder thing is something long term.
Yeah, there's no real update or anything on that, so we just gotta wait and see.
And I've got you this week, my friend. I'm gonna have to beat the shit out of you so I can continue to the top of this standings and be the fifth guy to take first place.
Yeah, it's happened before.
Mhm.
We'll see if I can buck the trend this week.
We'll see. We'll see. Best of luck to you, my friend.
You as well, sir.
As for Sherman, well, you know what? He's still competing. He's in 11th now, 5 under, but he's right there in this hunt.
He is, and again, this offense is something real. And once these guys who are kind of towing along, once they start clicking, it's gonna be pretty scary. Again, it's only April, so like, give him May, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. And with Seth Lugo, Kodai Senga, Dustin May, and a nice bullpen, Edwin Diaz, Ryan Helsley, Justin Slayton, Dennis Santana, Luke Jackson, all of these guys get saves. Like, this is a good bullpen.
Yeah, like I'm not looking forward to facing him.
No,
Even I just wish there were more than like two ads. I wish he could do something, but maybe he doesn't need to make more than two ads. I don't know.
I don't know. All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. It is Frank Bucco getting himself a great win over Chris Levy this week. He got himself a 13-5 victory. What'd you see here?
I saw Frank getting the win that he needed.
Mm-hmm.
Some curious moves from Chris Levy. And you know, Frank capitalized, and now he's sitting in third place. So
Yeah,
I like what Frank's doing. He's winning the matchups he needed to. And I'm afraid of him this year.
yeah, he's got an interesting team. We'll get to it in a minute. On Sunday, Levy flipped strikeouts by a pitcher. Frank flipped RBIs, and Levy gave up an error to let Frank tie that category. So close categories this week. Frank wins by 2 triples, 2 RBIs, 6 ticks on the batting average, 4 ticks on the on base percentage, and 2 saves. Chris wins by 5 strikeouts and 2 losses. They tied in home runs, stolen bases, and errors. For Frank on his bench this week, he goes 3 for 22. Good job, Frank. 136 batting average, 2 runs, a double, an RBI, a stolen base, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and the error that would have lost him that category had he played it. So good
Yeah.
job, buddy.
Yeah.
Only 3 moves this
The
week from this
steal
guy.
the steal also on Monday uh would have won him the category. I think it was Jeremy Pena on the bench. Um
Could have
Again,
moved McKinstry and get Bogarts out of there, and
yeah, that probably was the play, but it's just one of those things.
you still won 13-5. Good job.
Yeah.
And it was a
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
Not even worried. Only 3 moves this week from our guy. He picked up J.P. Crawford, Max the Manic Kranick, and Brent Suter for a clean relief appearance.
Yeah, that's all he needed to do.
Yeah, getting a big win. His most valuable hitter this week is Alex Bregman, and this guy is absolutely on fire in the month of April. 407 with a 500 on base, 5 runs, 4 doubles, a homer, 6 RBIs, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. And on the season so far, this dude has absolutely torn it up. 319 batting average, 22 RBIs already.
Yeah, he's been everything the Red Sox could have asked for. And like probably shut up Rafael Devers from complaining about being a DH.
Yeah, yeah. The least valuable hitter goes to Nolan Shanua, 111 with a 250, a run, an RBI, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts, and is currently day to day with some sort of ailment.
Yeah, it's a knee bruise. He fouled a ball off of his knee.
Ah,
He avoided a fracture, so uh, maybe he's back tomorrow. We'll see.
we'll see. Right now, he's in a platoon with Yainer Diaz on this team as far as who's going to play first base. So we'll see.
Yeah,
His Cy Young this week goes to the bullpen as they were fantastic. That is a solid stack of dudes giving up absolutely nothing. That's Jeff Hoffman, Yumi Garcia, David Bednar, Hunter Gaddis, Kyle Leahy, Ryan Barucki
yeah, nothing with 2 saves.
with 2 saves. Very well done.
I mean,
This
By the way, the David Bednar thing, what hats off to Frank for picking that guy back up. He came back. He got a save against the Dodgers. Like, uh, he might be back.
Yeah, he might be the back piece of that bullpen. So
Yeah,
it showed some great patience to throw him on the NA spot and get rid of Hai-Sung Kim.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. The Cy Young goes to Gregory Soto. Frank, you pitched to a 2.66 ERA this week. Very well done, sir.
Yeah.
Can't really poke too many holes into this week. For Chris on his bench this week, he went 4 for 7. That is a 571 batting average, and that would have flipped on base percentage and average because it was one play. It was on Sunday. It was Anthony Volpe in a doubleheader. And when the lineups came out, Volpe had an X next to his name, so Chris benched him. He would have played him.
You know what? I had that too. Yahoo like fucked that up, and because I had Jason Dominguez, and it was showing X, and it was showing that the game was postponed. And so I even texted Mike Haber. I was like, "Hey, what's the weather like?" Because I'm like, did they already call the game in the doubleheader? But it was Yahoo just not feeling well.
not doing what they're supposed to and having a bug in their system. It was really, really disappointing. For the rest of Chris's bench, he had 2 runs, a double, an RBI, 2 stolen bases that would have won the category, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. The 2 stolen bases also are that Volpe play. So that would have been a 3-category swing if he makes that play.
Yeah, that's everything right there.
Yep. It's the whole matchup. His moves this week, he used all 10 of them. Taylor Rogers was a waste. Brendan Hanafy for 2-inning relief appearance. Miguel Amaya was a waste. Dylan Dingler was a waste. Osvaldo Cabrera 2 for 4 with a strikeout. Tomas Nido 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. He was the final catcher that he picked up on Monday, so at least he got it right eventually.
Yeah, all that was Monday. Right, all that to end up with Tomas Nido.
Exactly. He added Patrick Corbin for a good start against the Athletics. Picked up Dylan Dingler again, Ryan Gusto for a good start against Toronto, and Jake Cronenworth, who's currently on the IL, but in his starting second base.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's coming back soon. I don't know.
I hope so. San Diego should hope so.
Yeah, but still going to be a couple of weeks.
Yeah. His MVP this week, who the hell else is it but Aaron Judge? 458 with a 519, 4 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 2 RBIs with a triple, stolen base, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He also had Austin Riley also had a really good week for him as well, 360 with a 429. These guys,
like, you can't mention anybody else because it's all Aaron Judge.
Yeah, these guys will keep him relevant all year long. This offense is gonna play.
Yeah, if you can find a catcher.
Hopefully. The least valuable hitter is Volpe because when he was in the lineup, he hit 143 with a 294 on base with 5 strikeouts. Not a great week from that guy. Nope. The Cy Young goes to Tyler McGill because this dude is just shoving this season. He does not want to end up back at Syracuse. 11 2/3, a win, a bomb, 5 walks, 19 strikeouts, a 231 and an 070. He had 10 strikeouts against Philly and 9 strikeouts in Washington.
I mean, side note, what are the Mets going to do when Minaya and Montas come back? They can't have a 7-man rotation, can they?
I don't know, man. I don't know. These things usually work themselves out, but we'll see.
True, but
it's still a while before those guys come back now.
And Paul Blackburn, for that matter, is like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah, absolutely. The Cy Young goes to Jack Dreyer. 1 an inning and 2/3, a loss, 4 walks, a strikeout, a 27 and a 480 with 2 relief appearances.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is.
He's a long reliever for the Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Keep it up, Frank. It's been a great season so far for you.
Yeah, dude. Guys in 3rd place. Like, you're right there. Mm-hmm. Stick with it all year.
Yeah. If you keep this team together, you just might make the playoffs. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next matchup, and it's yours against Cody, dude. And again, you got a really great win this week. You really needed it after the start that you had.
Yeah. I felt really good about this one too because I really felt like Cody we know is a tough cookie, and
Mm-hmm.
so I really felt like I worked for this one, and like it was a big a big win that I needed, and I'm happy with how it came out.
Yep. On Sunday, it was 15-5 going in, and you tied wins, so making it 15-4 is the final score. On For close categories this week, you win by 2 runs, 2 homers, a stolen base, 3 losses, and 3 saves. Cody wins by 3 doubles and 3 walks by a pitcher. You guys tied in errors and wins.
Ew.
On your bench, yeah, ew. On your bench this week, you went 4 for 22. That's a 182 batting average. 3 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, and an error. None of it plays. Well done.
Thank you, thank you.
For your moves this week, yeah, you used all 10. Brendan Little was a waiver wire pickup.
He was. I kind of took a page out of your book. I picked him up to see if he'll get appearance on Monday. He didn't, so I dropped him.
All right. Jake Fraley, Evan Phillips off of waivers. Caleb Durbin, 2 for 5 with a run and a double. Francisco Alvarez, 2-run home run on the bench. Man, you're carrying a couple of catchers right now.
Yeah, well, again, so like Josh dropped him and he cleared waivers, and I'm like, okay, I gotta take him back, like, because I don't know if Ivan Herrera is gonna be a real thing. So like, if he's not, then I can just plug Contreras at first base and keep Alvarez a catcher and be happy the way I was to start. So I had to get Alvarez back.
Okay. I don't blame you for getting Alvarez back. I mean, it certainly looks like on paper you've won that trade so far, but it is only April 28th at this point.
Yeah, but I feel good about it. So
Yeah, you should. You should. Jamison Tyone for a 7-inning no decision against Philadelphia.
that
Jordan
was
Beck.
that was last night. That was yeah. I was watching that game, going, just get me the win. I'm like, just somebody do something to get to score a run. Nobody could do anything. It was a really good, again, a really good game, really good pitchers duel. But I was just looking for that win. It just didn't happen.
Jordan Beck was a great pickup this week, 2 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 homers, 2 RBIs, a stolen base, and 2 walks. He gave you 2 of everything.
Yep.
Jeffrey Springs was bad over a 6-inning loss to the Chicago White Sox, and Zach Littell was good in his win in San Diego.
Yeah, it was that win that tied the category.
Nice. Very nice. The MVP this week goes to Corbin Carroll. 259 with a 310 on base, and he filled the stat line. 6 runs, a double, 3 triples, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, a stolen base, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah,
you did so much.
I'll tell you what. He was my first round pick because I had the 14th pick overall, and I really did not expect it to be this good. Like, I mean, again, it's only April, but so far he's really playing well, and like I'm feeling really good about it.
Yeah, lighten it up with 9 homers, 23 RBIs, 25 runs scored, and a 300 batting average. That's super nice.
Yeah, I mean, he hit 2 triples yesterday, so
yeah. Let's hope he hits a couple more next week, not this week.
Yeah, at the end of the week.
Nah, just not at all. Next week.
Okay.
Next week. Nick Kurtz is your least valuable hitter, 250 with a 235 on base percentage, 3 RBIs, 7 strikeouts. With Contreras moving to first base, I don't know how much time this kid's going to get for your team, but he looks promising.
Yeah, I want to hang on to him for a little bit. I don't want to give up on him yet, but another week like this, I might have to.
Yeah. Tariq Skubal is the MVP, 6 innings, or the Cy Young rather, 6 innings, a win, 11 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.67. What else are you expecting from the Cy Young winner? With a shout out to Nick Pivetta, who gave you 7 innings and shut up all.
Yep.
The Cy Yuck goes to Jeffrey Springs. We mentioned him that he was bad against the White Sox. 6 innings, a loss, a 750 and a 150.
I was surprised he even made it 6 innings because it was like he had given up like 4 earned in the first inning. Like,
Hmm.
so the fact that he went 6 innings, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 10 for 28. That's a 385 batting average. 4 runs that would have won the category, 2 doubles, a homer, 4 RBIs, 3 stolen bases that would have won the category, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. His moves this week, used 6 of them. Oh, as for the moves, as for the bench stats, like where he was, Wilyer Abreu on Tuesday had a really great day, and Castellanos was not. So a couple of those stats might have gotten in there.
Yeah, and we'll talk about more about that in a minute because yeah, he definitely had trouble figuring out which one of those the guys to start.
Okay. The for his moves, he used 6 of them. He added Brian Bayo for a good start against Seattle in his return from the IL, but it was benched.
Yeah, here's the deal with Brian Bayo. Cody picks him up and benches him for his first start in Seattle, then drops him. Mike Haber picks him up, benches him for his start, and then drops him. So nobody got a start out of Brian Bayo this week.
Yeah, use the guy. Use the guy. He's good. He added Blake Trinan, who's on the IL. He added Michael Lorenzen for a 6 inning win against Colorado. He added Tristan Casas, bold move, sir.
Yeah, so I dropped. Yeah, I finally dropped Tristan Casas because all right, I gave up. Going with Nick Kurtz. For a minute I thought it was going with Spencer Torkelson, like going somewhere else with first base, and so he picks him up against me, and he didn't really do a whole lot, so it's okay.
Casas took the dropping personally. He homered in each of the days that he was on waivers.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Yeah, but then as soon as Cody picked him up, he fell back down
He's
to
he's gone back in the toilet. Great.
yeah, yeah.
Jake Irvin, he picked up 7 and a third, 1 earned run against the Mets.
Another
And
bold move.
another one, yeah, that was a good stream. And finally finished it up with Lucas Giolito for this week. His MVP this week goes to Wyatt Langford.
Yeah.
550 with a 591 on base percentage, 3 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, a steal, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to the combination of Wilyer Abreu and Nick Castellanos. Castellanos an 083 with an 083 with 3 strikeouts. Wilyer Abreu 071 with a 188. Did have a homer and 3 RBIs. You also want to give a shout out to Vinny Pasquantino, who hit 100 with a 182. His
Yeah.
team's not hitting.
No, no, and in fact, like I was surprised because, like he only hit six home runs this week. I was prepared for him to like blow me out of the water because I know I'd had trouble hitting home runs so far this year, so I was getting ready to get getting blown out of the water, and he didn't show up.
The Cy Young this week goes to Joe Ryan. 7 innings, a win, 11 strikeouts, nothing earned, in an 071. Joe Ryan, not terrible. He's had a 3.18 ERA, 39 strikeouts over 34 innings. This start came against the Angels.
That was so Sunday. It was yesterday. It was Sunday. Him and Terry Skubal had a pitcher's duel in different games. Because both of them had 11 strikeouts, 6 innings for Skubal, 7 for Ryan, a win. Like they had the exact same line, and so that's why I needed this act. I wasn't going to start Littell unless if I gotten the win and he didn't, but we both got a win from our early guys, so I had to start Littell to get
Gotcha.
that tying win.
Gotcha. Okay. The Cy Yuck goes to Ryan Stanek. Inning and 2/3, 2 losses, 3 walks, a 16-20 and a 420 across 3 relief appearances. Not a good week for Stanek.
No, not a good, especially not a good weekend. Like watching him tumble over first base on Sunday, like just felt like the way it should have ended.
Yeah. Yeah. Sir, you have dug yourself out of the bottom that you were in to start the season. I certainly wish you the best of luck this week against me, but I hope you get blown out because I need
Thank
another
you
one.
and thank you. I think. Yeah. It's always a challenge facing you, but I'd rather do it now. I guess we'll do it again, but
Mhm.
we'll see. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Cody sits 11 games under 500 right now. I don't think we have to sound any alarms or anything, but another loss like this would be pretty ugly.
Yeah, yeah. You hit the nail on the head. It's too early to worry, but something needs to happen. He's got Ari this week, so maybe that's a chance to bounce back. Um, but like the Devin Williams thing is that hurts. That
It's
hurts a lot.
devastating. It's
Yeah,
devastating. You don't want to trade for a guy and then have him lose his job 2 weeks later.
yeah, yeah. Especially a guy you were counting on to, anchor your bullpen like that. Uh,
Hmm.
that's hard.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, final matchup of the week is Jimmy Dunlap getting a 13-5 victory over Ari Nisman. Let's take a look at this one. On Sunday, Ari tried for some more Sunday magic by flipping home runs by a batter and untying losses, but it wasn't quite enough because it was a 15-3 going in. It's 13-5 coming out. So close categories. Jimmy wins by the run, 2 stolen bases, 3 strikeouts, 16 ticks on the on base percentage, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Ari wins by the home run and the loss, and they tied in triples, wins, and home runs given up by a pitcher. For Jimmy on his bench, he goes 9 for 29. That's a 310 batting average with 4 runs, the triple that would have won the category. 2 RBIs, a stolen base, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. The triple comes on Tuesday. It's Dansby Swanson on the bench. Yikes.
Yeah, that hurts. Yeah,
You,
who you starting? Do you have who? What was that? That was on Tuesday.
yeah, Tuesday the 22nd, he had this triple
Oh,
sitting.
because he had Corey Seager, who is now no longer a person. Um,
Right.
yeah, that's what it was.
That hurts.
Yeah, literally.
That hurts. Hmm? 7 moves this week by Jimmy. He added Jake Myers 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Max the Manic Kranick rears his head again, and he got a big relief win on Wednesday for him. Jake Bird, Cameron Misner, IKF, Eric Wagaman, and Adam Frazier 1 for 4 with a run, a strikeout, and an error. His MVP this week goes to Jackson Churio. This kid is on fire this week. 370 with a 393 on base, 4 runs, 3 doubles, a homer, 4 RBIs, and 6 strikeouts. With a shout out to Paul Goldschmidt, who is still just reminding everyone exactly who the hell he is.
Yeah, yeah. Present company included. I wrote him off, and here he is hitting 365.
Mm-hmm. No, I wrote him off too. I thought he was washed. I
Yeah,
absolutely thought he was washed. He said 365 after the first month. Go
yeah.
figure. This least valuable hitter goes to Jake Berger, 158 with a 182, 7 strikeouts, 2 errors despite a bomb, and 3 RBIs and 2 doubles. Mixed bag, but 2 errors is ugly.
Yeah, the 2 errors and 7 strikeouts not good, and I mean it wasn't a horrible week, but he lost errors by 2, so there you go.
Mm-hmm. The Cy Young, of course, goes to Paul Skeen, 6 1/3, a win, 9 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.79. That, of course, came against the Dodgers.
Yep.
And the Cy Yuck goes to Tyler Kinley. An inning and 2/3, a loss, 4 walks, a strikeout, a 1080, and a 480 across 2 relief appearances. Man, the Rockies bullpen sucks.
I mean, there's not much about the Rockies that doesn't suck.
That's a good point. Good point.
Their new City Connect jerseys are probably the best thing about them.
Okay. You're going to
Yeah.
get one?
I might actually. I might. They're much better than their first try at City Connect, and I like these ones, so I might.
Wasn't the first one to take on y'all's license plate?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay.
So they're basically just, a bunch of license plates running around the field. But
What is
now
this one? Is it purple?
I don't even know. I don't know what the theme is, but it's there's like some blues and purples, and it's nice. It's very nice.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
As for Ari on his bench this week, he goes 16 for 68 That's a 235 batting average with 2 runs that would have won the category, 4 doubles, a homer, 5 RBIs, a steal, 9 walks, 16 strikeouts, and an error. Well done.
Hey, for an Ari bench, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all. It's not too bad at all. He used 3 ads. Holy shit. He added Ernie Clement, Quinn Priester for a 5-inning no decision with 5 earned runs in St. Louis, and Jake Bowers 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. His MVP this week goes to Connor Norby. Welcome back from the IL, this guy. 357 with a 438 on base, 4 runs, 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, and 5 strikeouts. What's this about his Sunday homer? Flipped the category?
Yeah, that's what it was. He hit a home run on Sunday, and that flipped home runs.
Yeah, that's awesome. His least valuable hitter this week goes to Ryan Mountcastle. Did not record a hit with a 250 on base, a walk, and a strikeout. With a shout out to Anthony Santander, who hit 056 with a 190 and 8 strikeouts, and Michael Bush, who hit 083 with 5 walks and 5 strikeouts.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Mountcastle, like, I'll be honest, I almost forgot that this guy was a player. Like, I feel like he is just completely vanished.
They're playing a lot of Ryan O'Hearn right now there because he's not hitting, and Ryan O'Hearn is.
Rough.
Yeah, I think they need to trade this guy. I think they needed to trade this guy before the season started, but
they needed to trade him. Yeah, exactly. In the offseason or even last year.
Yeah. Shane Baz is the Cy Young this week for Ari. 7 innings, a win, 6 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.71. The Cy Young goes to Dylan Cease, who threw 4 1/3, a loss, a homer, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, a 4.15, and a 2.31 whip. 4 walks, and he needed 95 pitches to get 13 outs.
Yeah. He threw 95 pitches to go 4 1/3 innings. He labored.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, both of these guys are a little bit under the where we would have expected them, right? Ari was doing pretty well to start the season, now sitting 13 under. Jimmy, 5 over. He's in the fight. Former champion. We're going to see him competing for this playoffs. Yeah,
I think so. I think he's like you said, he's been there before, and there's no reason to think that he's not going to be there this year. The team looks good. Yeah, I'm I took care of him last week, but I think overall he's a tough competitor, and he'll be there all year.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. All right, man. Who is the manager of the week?
Let's see. Got to give it to Costas.
Yeah, no doubt.
I want to give it to you, but I got to give it to Costas because 15-6, stamping his way to the top of the clubhouse, and just everything just going his way. It's like he needs to go buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, Ohtani and Teoscar are going to carry him very, very far this year, and we shall see exactly how far he goes. Right now, he's 18 over 500 and leading the pack. That's a pretty nice cushion to have after April.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's got to be happy.
Yeah, he should be. He should be. Congratulations, Costas. Jason, thanks so much for being here with me, my friend.
Absolutely, always a pleasure, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, I'll talk to you after this week. You dirty scoundrel, you.
Bring it on.
Guys, thanks so much for being here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Ring the bell on YouTube to let you know when we upload new content. Do the same thing over on Spotify or wherever you're listening to the audio side of this podcast. Thanks so much. We appreciate you. And until next time, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.